Welcome back to Urban Chat. I'm Ryan Stinson, and I'm here with a Air Force pilot. Could you please tell us your name and what you do?
Captain Blair Turner. I'm a search and rescue pilot at 442 Squadron in Comox.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you start flying?
Well, finished high school and was looking for a job, and I went to a barbecue, tipped a beer back, saw a little plane fly by. I was like, that would be pretty cool, you know, like, wonder what that guy sees or is doing. Went out to school and figured out how much it cost. I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. But things kind of came through, so started. That's how I got involved with the whole thing.
So, did it take you long to get into the Air Force? I hear there's quite a wait list for Air Force pilots.
Yeah, it can be pretty difficult. There's a bunch of hoops you got to jump through, aptitude testing, medical testing, so it can take a while. You're looking at anywhere from 6 months to probably a year to get enrolled. At times it can take longer. It was about 2 years. But previous to that, like I did 2-year diploma in aviation and then worked in the industry for a few years. So going back over to the Air Force was like pretty easy because they had a program set up to bring in experienced pilots, and so yeah, it was a little bit of work. Had to go to university and do a degree and all that kind of stuff to get in, but then the breaks, right?
It was worth it?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely, I can't think of anything better to do.
So, do you have any special type of training that you need for any of this? Like, say, I don't know, your helicopter crashes, any survival training or anything?
Yeah, we do Arctic survival, sea survival, land survival. You can do basic or advanced courses in those. Everybody gets the basic stuff. The advanced stuff is more tactical, like if you're behind enemy lines kind of thing, how to survive. But in my current posting, I don't need to go tactical behind enemy lines. So there's that kind of training. There's also, of course, basic and advanced flight training. And then, of course, there's specialized training for the community that you're in. So like my search and rescue training would be different than, say, TAC aviation training for the Army or something like that. So,
what would be, say, some of the differences between the two?
Just they have a different mandate. So like ours is to recover people that are in distress. So some of the maneuvers that we would do wouldn't make sense in a tactical world or something like that, and vice versa, right? So we want to be on scene, and we're not worried about any kind of threat, so except the weather or the terrain itself. So it's hard to really kind of describe the minutia of it, really. So,
how was your experience with your survival training?
That was pretty good. I was lucky on my basic stuff. It was kind of in the fall, so there wasn't too many bugs and it wasn't too hot or too cold. It was pretty interesting. It was a week-long course, and you get a couple days in survival theory, first aid training, and then you do a 3-day solo out in the woods and have to survive and build shelters and find your food. And so it was pretty interesting. And then the advanced training was rather intense at times. You had the Army participating, so they have like platoons of people following you around, trying to track you down. You have a dog team, helicopter teams, all trying to track you through the woods. And so that was pretty interesting. It was that was 2 days of theory and then 2 days solo. So they drop you off in the middle of the night and you just run. So it was pretty intense, but good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you start out flying jets or?
No, I started out on, we have a turboprop Harvard 2. It's a common phase that all pilots in the military will do. And from that, then you'll get streamed off into either jets, multi-engine like Hercules, transport, or helicopters. And then each of those branch off into like maritime helicopter, search and rescue, or tactical flying. So each kind of path branches out multiple times. But the the initial phase is always done on the Harvard 2. Yeah.
Why did you want to fly helicopters? What was your interest there?
Well, I had already flown multi-engine aircraft, civvy side, like Air Canada Jazz type of deal. And I had the opportunity to fly helicopters. Civilian training of helicopters is pretty expensive. So I saw it as an opportunity to basically round out my resume. So now, if I ever did leave the service, then I can have more job opportunities available to me. And so that was kind of the initial motivation, but as I got involved in it, it actually has turned out to be a lot more fun than fixed wing flying, because you're more intimate with the earth. Like we're always down anywhere from 5 feet to 500 feet usually over the terrain, whereas in a multi-engine you just climb up to 20,000 feet and cruise. So it's a lot more exciting, and that was kind of an added perk I didn't really realize when I asked for helicopters. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So where do you see yourself going in the future?
Well, I'm pretty happy where I'm at right now, so I'll probably stick it out for a bit, and I don't really know. All I know is I wouldn't mind retiring on a sailboat somewhere in the Mediterranean, or I don't know, something like that.
Well, Blair, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Awesome. I'm Ryan Stinson, and you've just been fed.